Aw, shit. Here we go again.
Welcome to the Sloppy Book Club podcast. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Celese. And welcome to part 2 of episode 13. We got a little bit passionate about our Shadow and Bone season 2 adaptation review. We didn't think it would take as long as it did, but hey,
it is what it is.
So for this episode, we are definitely going to talk about the books we read this month or so far. So it's going to be like a quick little March wrap up. I got it right this time. We have our same drinks. Everything's the same, only that we're actually going to go into talking books.
Yes.
So
we were talking books. We were just talking a different version of the book.
Yeah, that's true. But this is like what we've read this month.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure I'll jump off the rails at some point. My blurbs, as they're supposed to be, are never blurbs. But hey, it is what it is. Enjoy the ride.
Yes.
All right. So you want to just go like back and forth? Do you want to do all of yours? Or how do you want to do this?
No, we'll go back and forth.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah. I'll start off because I actually have a book that I read last month, but I just wanted to give it a quick little highlight because I didn't get to last time because I was towards the end of reading it. But I feel like it deserves a little shout out. So, it is Cinderella is Dead by Callan Barron. I hope I'm saying her name right. 9 out of 10 times, I'm probably not. Anyway, it's an amazing retelling of Cinderella with great representation. It's set 200 years after Cinderella's death. The people of, I think it's called Lilio something, are forced to rules influenced by Cinderella's story. Basically, when you come of age, you have to go to the king's annual ball, and all these eligible bachelors get to choose you. How fun! You don't really have a say. Yeah, you don't really have a say. They're just like, you're pretty. I like you. You're my wife now. It's a very misogynistic world. They don't really believe in anything other than heterosexual relationships. So it's expected that a man and a woman marry. But for our main character, she's a lesbian and, she's not with tradition. So obviously she wants to go against it. And it's just her story on really finding out what happened to Cinderella and trying to go after the king. It's really good. It has great representation. I loved it.
It sounds really good. I've had that on my list for a long time and just never picked it up.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good. Really, really good.
I'll probably read it one day. All right, so one day. My first book is Felix Ever After by Kaysen Callender. And this one, I knew right away it was going to make me cry. It did. I fucking loved it, every moment of it. It's basically about a trans boy named Felix who is determined to find true love, all while trying to figure out his identity. Because even though he was born female and then identified as a trans boy, went through the transition, there were still some struggles that he was going through, trying to figure out what else was missing, because there was always something that he felt was missing. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I cried. We'll reread it again for sure.
It sounds really good.
It's really, really good.
My next book is All I've Wanted, All I've Needed by A.E. Valdez. It's the slowest slow burn I have ever read. It was to the point where I was just like, are you getting banged already? Like, come on. I mean, it was great development of that friendship, but come on.
Okay.
When are you guys going to get it on? Like, that's what I'm waiting for. And then when it finally happened, it was in the most embarrassing way because they kind of get caught. And funny I nearly like dropped my Kindle because I was like, that did not just happen to them. But anyway, it centers around Harlow. She is basically she's someone trying to find herself after kind of being in the shadows of her ex-boyfriend. She turns down his proposal. She's just like, no, we're better off as friends. I feel like, I've just been living my life for you and not for myself. She takes a trip to Bali where she's given like this opportunity to get a job in Seattle, and she does it, and she starts this whole new life. She meets this really like brooding tattoo artist, good looking. They develop this really good friendship. And like I said, it's a super slow burn. Like when I say slow, I mean slow. It was so slow. But anyway, it's dual point of view, super cute, super good. I enjoyed it. But it was slow. It was slow.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I could do that. I like slow burn. If it's that slow.
No, to me, I've never come across a more slow burn,
Ugh.
in my opinion.
Okay.
But it took a while for me to
one.
like, because like it's gonna happen. So it's like that anticipation, and I'm just like, okay, is it now?
Okay.
Is it now? It might have been me. Might have just
Is
been
it the
me.
next page? No. Is it the next one?
It's not you, it's me. It was probably definitely me.
All right. Okay, my next one is The Last Sunrise in Eterna by Amparo Ortiz. And this is a young adult fantasy about elves who hold this like thing called an exchange where they grant powers to humans for like a certain amount of time. But they have to give up their dreams, like their literal dreams, in order to do so. Yes. It's so good. I don't know if I would do that either, because you can't pick and choose which streams. But it's set in Puerto Rico, and it's with an FMC who's super gothic and a super funny like male main character. It was really good. And it comes out this week, I think March 31st, because it was on our
Oh, nice. So pick that up. It sounds really, really good.
It is really good.
All right. My next book, talking about this, I might cry. Before I Let Go by Ryan Kennedy. This was a really emotional, moving story. I couldn't put it down. It just triggered a lot of it deals with loss, grief, content warning, trigger warning, not to spoil it, but it does touch on a stillbirth, and a loss of a child, which was really hard to read. But also as someone who recently went through like a devastating loss within my own family, it had me really feeling like the emotions and, trying to balance moving forward after experiencing a loss, and hearing that through the emotions, and the vulnerability that these characters were feeling, like it made it that much better of a story. It was really good. So it centers around Yasmin and Josiah. They're recently divorced. As I said, they suffered a really traumatic loss, and sometimes losses bring you and your spouse together. Sometimes it forces you apart, and in their case, it forced them apart. So now they're currently trying to balance being business partners, like continuing their business, and also co-parenting their other two children. And then there's just like these series of events that happen that kind of reignites their relationship. And now they're trying to decide whether they should, get back together. What does that look like? What does that look like for their children? Or if it's just more of like missing like that lust of a relationship rather than the relationship.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was an emotionally driven story. It was really good. I highlighted a lot of it. Like I said, it had some really good moments of just understanding a grief process and how sometimes you do need to seek help in order to overcome that. So it was really good. It's actually going to be, I don't know if it's like a series, because Yasmin has two other friends that she talks about in the book, and one of her friends is going through some own, trials and tribulations with her own marriage, and that's actually going to be book 2. So I don't know if she's going to do all 3 of the friends, like Yasmin and her 2 friends, or if it's just going to be a duology. I don't know, but
What's
I know
the author's name?
Ryan Kennedy.
I think she just posted something today, and there's an arc that you could get. It's like a read now arc on NetGalley, and I don't know if it has anything to do with that, but it's one of those that you don't have to get approved for. You can just go on and you'll
Do
get
not
it.
tell me that. Do not tell me that. Right after
Yeah.
this episode, I will be looking because
I'm pretty sure it was her that I saw, because I'm pretty sure that
she
was the
has
name.
become an instant buy for me between
Nice.
her storytelling and like the way she grabs you emotionally. I
Yeah.
couldn't put the book down. It was really, really good. And like I said, her next story, I can't wait, because I hope that woman throws her husband down the stairs. I'm ready for it. I'm ready. Like
Nice.
I already hate her husband. I already know I'm not gonna like him, and I hope she finds a better man. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
Just from just hearing little blurbs of what's going on, I'm like, she better leave that man. But yeah, it was really good.
Jesus.
I like it.
Good. Yeah, I heard it was really good. I just never picked it up.
Mhm.
All right. My next one is The Dalwick Demon by Ashley Bennett. And this is a monster romance. And it's about a sex worker who gets banished into a cave where there's like this supposed demon. And what she finds is a demon, but he's super sexy. She falls in love right away. And he has a double penis.
Okay,
So yeah.
that's different.
And it's a very short book. It's a quick read. I think she said it was like one of those it was part of an anthology, but then she expanded on it, so she made it into a book. But it was really good.
Logistically, how does that work?
Like,
are they on top of each other?
What do you mean well, like, I guess if you're standing, this is the guy, it would be like,
yeah, so they're on top of each
yeah.
other.
So like if
So
she's
1 and 1.
top,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. That works. I gotta like visualize it. Like,
it's useful. So I read another book that
the
has
emoji
that.
that the head is upside down. Like, how does that work?
So there's another book that has that, and that's Dragon's Bride by Katie Robert. But the girl in that uses the double penis in one way, and the girl in this one uses it a different way. So I'll let your imagination soar.
Interesting.
Yeah,
And it's
two different
soaring,
ways.
because I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I might just have to read it just to know.
Okay.
All right, my next book. Oh my God, I absolutely love. This is gonna be a duology. It's called The Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. It was a fast-paced, action-packed sci-fi fantasy that was so enjoyable to read. However, it is blood and gore. Do not fall in love with characters, because I feel like the author doesn't give a shit who you like, don't like.
She just started going for people.
Yeah, she don't play. She don't play around.
Oh my God.
I cannot wait for book 2 to come out next month in April. Anyway, so basically, Kenna is trying to become like this elite warrior in order to get closer to her grandfather's possible killer. Now, she thinks she needs to become this elite warrior because she knows the tribunal, which is like a collective of people who kind of rule the nation kind of thing together. Mm-hmm. She knows that like they're the only ones who could kind of like put out a hit on her grandfather, and only you being one of those warriors, those were the only people close to him that could have possibly done it. So she knows like if she becomes one of them, it gives her greater access to them basically. But in order to do this, you have to go through these like crazy like Hunger Game trials. And by Hunger Games, I'm not talking about if you read the book Hunger Games and it's like, oh, so and so got stabbed. Like, no, blood and gore, people die.
I like
They
it.
die
I like
explicitly.
it.
And so she is going through these trials to become this warrior. And in the meantime, she's also trying to hide the fact that she has powers, because people used to be basically like touched by the gods. You were given like a power or whatever. But because of the tribunal and all these people, they kind of like killed off those people because they were scared of them. Obviously, they don't want people with powers around. So if she was ever suspected, she would have been killed. So now she has to kind of like hide her powers. The twists and turns at the end of the book, so good.
Awesome.
But this book really does kind of talk heavily on racism and misogyny, because Ikenna is a Black woman and she lives in a very like racist kind of world. So just keep that in the back of your mind. But so good.
Awesome. I'm gonna end up picking that one up because it sounds really good. And I like blood and gore.
Every
So
second of it. And
good.
I can't wait for book 2.
All right, my next one is Hunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. And this is book 2 in the Stalker romance. I kind of mentioned it in one of the other episodes. Loved book 1. Was amazing. The writing was great. The writing in this one was really, really good, but it was very rapey.
Okay.
The way book 1 ended, you know what happens in book 2, or you know what's going to happen in book 2. And pretty much they expanded on it pretty much the whole time. It was like 500 pages of abuse and rape. So that was it. Yeah.
Interesting.
So if I would have known that it was like that, I would not have read it. Not because it was triggering, because I don't really have a lot of triggers, but I just that's not what I wanted to read, and that's not what I was expecting. I was expecting more hot, sexy stalker romance stories, and that's not what I got. But the story was really good. It was written really well, just not what I was expecting.
Right. I can see that, especially if one wasn't that far into that.
Okay, so it was.
Okay.
It was a little like rapey in book 1, but it was like that type, like, oh no, don't do it, and okay, do it kind of thing. This one was bad. This one was literal rape.
Ugh.
So yeah.
Not my thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't have read it
because I get, but not like that hard to get. Like eventually, I would say yes.
Okay.
But like no, no, that might be too much for me.
Yeah.
My next book is Rajal's Renaissance, and I'm pretty sure I'm saying his name wrong. But anyway, it's book 1 in the Ice Planet Clone series, which is within the Ice Planet Barbarians world. Like the rest of the series, it gave you drama, sex, good story. It centers around what is his name? Ray Giles finally resonating to his mate when they're captured by aliens that have been dwelling in the tunnels for years. So there's a whole new group of like aliens that have been living on this planet, like unbeknownst to everyone else. They thought these aliens were like killed off years ago because of basically like an ice age happened. So they thought everyone was killed kind of thing, and whoever was left was the people there. But apparently they just been living in the tunnels, and now there's like a whole new story. Loved it.
They were too busy having sex.
This is book probably like 39 within this whole world. I will read this until
you're gonna be like 80.
Like if she writes it, I'm reading it. If it's within the same world, I mean, I enjoy them it does
That's
it for
good.
me. It's good. It gives you drama, it gives you sex, it gives you story. Like, what more could you ask for? I enjoyed it.
I agree.
It's fated mates. Like, I love that kind of thing. But
You
yeah,
got, I fear how much people like the series that I won't
like it.
like it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
I
only
feel
reason
like
I haven't
some
read
books
it.
are like that, like when they're overly like talked about, and then you find you start to like have these expectations.
Yeah, they're
And
up
then
here.
yeah, I mean, I enjoy them.
I'm sure they're good if you like them. I
Mm-hmm.
just like I fear like that they're up here and I might not think that, and which would make me like hardcore
Mm-hmm.
criticize it.
It's like always a happy ending. It's all like you're getting fated mates. Like,
Yeah.
no matter the drama, no matter how they don't believe in the purring of their kuai, like, you're gonna mate, you're gonna have a baby. Like, this is what's gonna happen. There's no going against it. So if
Yeah.
that's your cup of tea, if that's something you enjoy, you're gonna like it.
All right. Okay.
This woman she's knocking out books left and right too, because this is
I
just
know she's
one.
got a lot.
She has a ton of like alien romances. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. I still have to finish the Very Mate series that I
Is
started
that
last year.
is that
That's
the
an
one?
alien romance. It's
Is it the one
like
like
taken
take
to
it? Yes.
Varaxia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she
And
just huh?
I was just gonna say I've been seeing it more
Because she just
on
released her final
Instagram.
book.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
she
okay.
just released it. So I have to finish. I've read 3 or 4. I have to check.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
No,
All right.
I've been seeing a lot lately. Like, you
Yeah,
were the
that's
first one
why.
that I ever saw, talk about it, but I've been seeing
Hmm.
it a lot more, which is nice to see.
Yeah, when I started reading it, I think she had just released her second book.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 8 now. She just released her 8th. So, I know.
And
So that's it.
I bet they're good, right? Like a good, like, what, 300 pages or so?
They're probably 3, maybe 250 to 3. So they're not bad. Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty, maybe my summer reads.
Okay. They're funny. All right. So my next one is The Demon Court by Emma Hamm. And this is a spicy romantasy. And it's her first, I think, full adult book, because the rest of her books are like new adult and young adult, but there aren't any like real spicy scenes. This one
Okay.
has that.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is a sorceress who's in training, and she's tasked to seduce the demon Lust in order to like take back control of his kingdom.
Okay.
But he's the demon Lust, so it's obviously not easy to seduce him. It's super
Mm-hmm.
unique, it's spicy. The map and the way the kingdoms are set was like my favorite part of it, and she's gonna do all the demons, so I'm so excited. You know, I love my
And
demons.
you said it was Emma Hamm?
Emma Hamm.
Yep.
Yep.
You've read a lot from her.
I own a lot of her books.
Yeah. I feel like you
Yeah.
do a lot of reviews for her. That's like
Yeah.
an instant buy for you, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
My next book is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, talking about demons, by Kimberly Lemming. This is book 1 in the Mead Mishap series. I came across her really like out of nowhere on TikTok. She was promoting her books, and she was just basically saying how this would be like the last weekend to get my books with like my art on it. And I was just like, well, if it's her art, I want to read her books, like I want it with her art on it. So I was just like, okay, I'll get both of them. Not knowing anything about it. I just heard like little blurbs here and there, like, oh, this is a good fun series or whatever. But so I was just like, you know what? I'll take the chance. So I got both books without any real knowledge of it, and I loved it. So book 1 is super fast paced. It's a monster romance. It has super entertaining and funny like banter, very modern banter, and like this, fantasy like world. So the book 1 centers around Cinnamon. Yes, that is her name, Cinnamon. she is basically this female character who just wanted like a quiet life, chill. She wants to be able to drink, get drunk with her friend, go home, relax, possibly get a cat one day. But on this one drunken night, she actually saves a demon. She doesn't know it's a demon until the very last moment when he tries to attack her. And so she knocks him out, runs home, and then the next day he's kind of come to. And he explains to her how he's only crazed and confused because there's actually this evil witch who has kind of been enslaving his people with a spell. So he's like, can you help me, join my quest basically on killing this evil witch person. And it was so funny, so cute. Like, I absolutely adored Fallon, which is the male character. It was just super cute. I love the sassiness of it. I love the modern like banter, like the everyday like talk that we would do was in the story. Like they have like nachos and she loves cheese and wine and like different things like that it was just entertaining. So I absolutely loved it.
Nice.
And that was
I've seen it a lot on TikTok, and it's one of those where I'm like, it can't be that good. Is it really that good?
It's 175 pages of entertainment.
Yeah, so many people love it.
I
should have just bought it.
It's super entertaining. But now that I'm thinking about it, I hope her third book, when I order it, it's in her art and not the new publishers. Because then I would have to buy all 3.
That would piss me off real bad. Yeah.
Because the book 3 hasn't come out. So I wasn't sure if I should have pre-ordered it to get the art, or how does that work?
No, because if it's not out, if she wasn't planning on doing the art and the publisher took it over, then it probably won't have the art because she was an indie publisher, right? Or an indie author.
As she's promoting it, it's in her art. Like it's
already the third book?
Yeah, the third book.
Oh, so then it probably is.
I think it's something like I got a dragon that time. I got a dragon drunk or something like that.
Yeah, because why, if the third one's going to have the art, why would that have been the last weekend to purchase the first 2 with the art if the third one isn't going to match what new readers will have? Like if I wanted to go buy it, I'm not going to buy the third book with a different art cover than the new books. You know what I mean?
Are you telling me I fucked up?
Well, no, because at least you'll have that. Or maybe one day she'll be like, guess what? Special edition in my art. And then you'll be able to purchase it.
I sure would.
There you go.
Just like I guess there's like different. No, there isn't. I'm making that up. Forget it.
Okay.
I thought I saw it in a different like cover, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's the same. It's the blood trials. I thought it was in a different cover. They all look the same because there's this one girl on TikTok who actually loves it just as much as I do, and she has like 1 million copies of it. She has it like in paperback, hardback, like a whole bunch of them.
I love that when I see that.
I wish I could be like that. I can't.
I have one book that's like that. The only book that I bought every single copy except one, I'm missing one, is A Dowry of Blood.
That was a good one too.
All right.
No, but don't you have something else that you have a ton of copies of? I feel like it's another book. Am I going crazy?
The Realm Breaker, I have 2 versions. I have 2 versions of a lot of books, but more than 2, I think it's just A Dowry of Blood.
Talking Realm Breaker, Angel got me the Red Queen.
Did he?
Collection. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I was not going to waste that money. I was not going to waste that money.
No, when he told me how much he spent because of like shipping and stuff, I was like,
yeah, no.
I regretted it instantly.
I bet.
I was like, no, you did not spend that much. I was like, my ACOTAR series wasn't even that expensive, the whole collection.
That's wild.
But I got it. I'm so bad. Like, that was a lot of money. I don't know how people could just do that.
No.
Like,
I can only do that for books that I love,
Mhm.
like truly deep inside love.
Yeah, it makes me want to throw up.
So start thinking about it.
Okay. You're next.
So my next book is one that you read a year ago, was Wedding Crasher by Mia Sosa. So fucking good. It's a rom-com. It's cute. It literally had me smiling from page 1 to the last page. The spice was great, and it wasn't even like, I wasn't expecting the spice to be that good, and it was good.
Do you have
I
the art
enjoyed it.
too?
Yeah, we got it at the same time.
Oh, we sure did.
I just never read it.
It was so good.
Was good.
I love this book.
I don't think I'm gonna read the other one, book 1 in that like
Oh,
standalone
about her
series.
sister. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Isn't that the one where it's the worst best man?
Yeah. It's the worst best man.
Yeah.
I hear mixed reviews, so I don't
But
know if I
isn't
want
that
to.
like she was getting married to someone and
Lena
then winds
was.
up being with the best man? Like she was the one getting married, right?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Yeah.
And
That's
obviously
wild.
I know how it ends because we read this one, so
Yeah, true.
but yeah.
But yeah, that's a good one.
It
I
is a
love that
really good book. I enjoyed it.
And the spice was really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like a proper guy that in the bedroom is just like a freak. And
Yeah,
that's
like
exactly
I
how
said,
he
I was
was.
surprised. I was so like shocked. I was like, okay.
Yeah. He's all like, proper suit and tie.
Yeah.
Everything has to look immaculate. And then in the room, crazy. I love it.
It was very good.
Yeah, that was a good one. The next book I have is another Kimberly Lemming. It's book 2 in the Mishap series. This is That Time I Got Drunk and Yeeted a Love Potion at a Werewolf. Just the title alone, I was like sold. Again, it was funny, modern banter in a fantasy world. This one centered around Cinnamon's friend Brie, and Brie as in Brie cheese. So cinnamon is named after a spice or whatever, and brie is named after a cheese. But anyway,
and these are human cheese,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay.
So Brie has to convince a werewolf who just moved into town that she is not his fated mate after throwing a spiked drink at him, and this drink had a love potion in it. So not only did she throw this drink because there was this guy who was trying to have her drink that drink, so he was trying to spike her drink and have her fall in love, but then she throws it at the werewolf and he's like, oh my God, you're my mate. But yeah, so that was an asshole move. And 2, now she has to convince this werewolf hey, we're not really fated, to be together. It was just a spiked drink. And he was just like, no, we're supposed to be together. And he was so sweet and I loved him. And he was like, she does all these spells to try and stop the potion from working or whatever, to see if they were really supposed to be together kind of thing. And one of the spells has him get these shadow tentacles that he uses in the room.
I like that.
Yeah. Bondage.
I like it.
It was good. It was cute. I enjoyed book 1 more, but book 2 was good. I really, because I feel like it was that unexpected read, and you're like, wow, this is really good. And then book 2, you're like, oh, okay, some of it is a little bit repetitive, but it was still a good story. It was still funny and cute. But yeah, that was my last one.
It was?
Yeah, because I have a book that I'm currently reading that I can talk about. But yeah.
Okay. So I have a few more.
That's fine.
So my next one is The Witch and the Vampire by Francesca Flores. And this was an arc. I believe it also comes out this week, end of March. It's a YA sapphic fantasy about a witch and a vampire who used to be friends, became enemies when something bad happened, and now they have to work together to get through this forest without dying. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I felt like I didn't connect with the characters as much as I'd hoped to do. And it was supposed to be like this kind of slow burn, friends to enemies to lovers, and I didn't feel that.
Was it because one of the characters was a vampire?
No.
Okay.
I've learned to love vampires.
Okay.
Yeah, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised by my last one, but I'll get there.
Okay.
So my next one is All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson, my very first memoir, and I cried again. It's so annoying, but this was really, really good. It's like a collection of essays through the author's life, like literally from birth all the way up to his mid-20s and his struggles of being Black and gay. And then we have Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. This is a mixed race gay teen navigating his identity, eventually falling in love with like the drag life, realizing that he was meant to be a drag queen. It's written in verse. So
I love the cover of that book.
Isn't it cute? There was two. There was one, and it's like one of those like band type books, which is fucking crazy because it's like it reads like a poem, and I absolutely love it. Love.
Oh, I saw like your pictures of it, and I'm just like, that's beautiful. Like, I love the cover art.
It was really pretty. So my next one is the Mantis variant by Adam Andrew Johnson, and this one is a grim dark fantasy dystopian setting, and it's about these three women coming from three different lives come together to dismantle this big cult who's killing people with powers. It was really good. There's 3 books in the series. I only read the first one, but I'll definitely read the other 2. And then my last one.
Huh? What? I said it's getting so hard to like every time it's like a series, I'm like, oh my God, there's another book. And I'm like, there's 20 other books I want to read. And I'm just like, but it's a series and I have to finish it.
That's what I've been really bad at doing that, like starting a series and then not continuing because there's other books I want to read. But I've been trying not to. I've been trying to just either read the series or at least hold off until I read whatever else I want to read. Because otherwise I'll never get to it.
I was telling Angel that it's really hard to start a new series. I like when they're done so that I can just keep going and keep going and keep going. That whole waiting thing, I just hate it. So that's why I'm happy like the last 2 like books that are like a series that I've read, like their books come out next month, so it's not that big of a wait. But I could only imagine if I found out about this author like a year or 2 ago and had to wait, like I would go crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. So I've seen a couple authors talk about this, and there's a little fruit fly. They talk about that a lot. Like people will always want to wait till their whole series is out, but if people aren't buying their first book, they're not making money. They're not going to be able to publish the rest of the books. So that's where I struggle too, where I know, okay, it's not going to come out for another 2 years. But I can't wait to buy the book because 1, what if I hate it and I'm waiting that long? 2, what if I love it and now the author can't publish the next book because they didn't get a lot of sales from this one. So that's pretty tough.
Double-edged sword.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I say if you're interested, read it.
Do it. True.
At least you'll get to reread it the next time.
Yeah, but then I gotta reread it, and then I gotta I guess you're right.
Or listen to the audiobook the second time, so it's just like you're listening to something like a second time around.
What about, have you heard this theory or this idea? I absolutely loved it. What? Why aren't more what publications need to understand is I want the physical book for show, but I want the ebook to read. So they were saying, what if they start publications where when you buy the physical book, if you pay like an extra couple dollars, for there to be a code in the inside or on your receipt or whatever, and you get to upload your book on ebook as an ebook.
Like they do with movies. They do that with movies. You buy the DVD, there's always a code inside, and you can have it on like your Voodoo account for free.
I didn't know that.
Yo, I did that shit with the Mummy. When I had bought the Mummy set, I downloaded all of them into my phone on Voodoo so I could watch it wherever I want.
I didn't know that. But wouldn't that be so amazing?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so true. Like, sometimes I don't want to read a physical book. Like, it's so convenient for it to be like on my Kindle or whatever. But if I could just scan a code and have it uploaded to my Kindle, like I would pay the extra like $5 or $6 to have it. And
I think a lot of people would.
This was another question. Why are Kindle and paperback the same prices? Almost the same prices.
For a lot of books. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are reading. Like reading has gone up so much, so everything's gonna go up, including ebooks with all the freaking e-readers that are out there. Yeah.
That was my rant.
Okay.
Did you have another?
Also that whole like code thing, they do that with audiobooks if you have Audible. Just in case.
Oh, yes.
You ever wanted to listen to one of those books. So yeah, my last one is a book I'm still reading, but I'll be done before the end of March, is Of Shadow and Moonlight by Luna Laurier. And this is a vampire book. When I started reading it, I was like, fuck, this is a Twilight book. I'm gonna hate it. God damn it. And I'm mutuals with the author, and I'm like, fuck, what am I supposed to do if I hate it? I fucking love it. Good. It is so good. It definitely starts off, I'm like, because I didn't read the Twilight books, but I saw the movie. Definitely reminded me of that, but it got way better. So I'm okay now. I'm okay now. It's definitely not Twilight at all, but it is really good. It's a young woman fated to die. She's sick. She has like this heart problem. And then you have like this guy who is a vampire with a lot of secrets. Really good, but I'm not done with it yet, so we'll get there.
So I have a book that I haven't finished either. It's called Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. She's the author of the Brown Sister series with Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and I forget the other two. And I mistakenly called her Tabitha.
Oh, you did. I remember
that. Other episodes.
That is literally not the worst name that you could call someone, because you've done worse.
It's just, I don't do it in like to be disrespectful. I really don't. I'm just so bad with names. I blame my job because I go through kids with so many different names that like they all jumble up in my mind. So I'm sorry. But yeah, so it's Talia Hibbert, Highly Suspicious, Unfairly Cute. So far it's been super cute. It's giving me very much friends to enemies to possible lovers again kind of trope. It centers around two characters, so it's a dual point of view, and basically they are joining like this how do I describe it? It's like not camping expedition thing, but it's supposed to help them get into the university, because these are like they go to school in like London or something. So you know how like they call it uni or university? There's a lot of like lingo, which I really enjoy, that the author has like a glossary, because I guess her publisher was just because it centers around in England and Scotland. So a lot of the like banter and the language people in the US won't really understand. So in the beginning of the book, the author has like this whole glossary of like that explains all of that, which was really cool. So like if you're reading the book and you're like, what the fuck does that mean? There's a glossary for it. Because their banter is really different than say ours, like our lingo and stuff. So it's super cute so far. Like I said, so it's center it, they're going on this survival course. That's what it is. And they're trying to get like this perfect score or whatever. And they're kind of like challenging each other. Like I said, they're like frenemies kind of thing. And like now they have to work together and like that kind of trope. So it's really cute so far. I'm enjoying it. One of the male character is actually bisexual. It confused me in the beginning because he was like, oh yeah, I had a major crush on him, and I was just like, wait, what? At first I thought it was the girl talking, Cecile, and Celine, I mean, and I'm just like, wait, what? No, that's Bradley talking. And then further in, he mentions that he's bisexual, which was pretty cool. So it's very inclusive and diverse. So I really enjoy it so far. So that will definitely be done within the next couple of days if no one bothers me at home. I need to lock myself in my room and just
tell them to leave you alone.
Yes. But yeah.
Nice.
That's what I'm reading.
Perfect. All right. So that concludes our part 2, season 2, episode 13, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So thanks for joining us. Comment any reads that you want to read, or if you've read them, how you felt about them, and join us for our next episode.
And if you know any wine companies that want to send us some wine, because we're so great at reviewing wine, let them know.
Yes. All right. Thanks for joining. Bye.